Good evening. Yes, my name is Tumi Tladi, and I'm coming through on Thursday evening. Well, I hope it's not in the afternoon, but rather in the evening. So today being the 17th of June 2021 time, it's 17 minutes before 6 p.m. Okay, so what are we doing today? Please, if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, my name is Tumi Tladi. I'm an enthusiastic C# developer. I put together a system called Identical Docs. It's several web applications, both targeting .NET Framework and .NET Core. I do have a database in production. And by the way, these web applications are deployed. I do have a Xamarin app currently targeting Android, and the Android application is on Google Play Store, and the iOS applications coming soon as soon as I buy Apple MacBook. So please, this video, for you to understand what I'm going to be talking about, please go back to video number 0. You can even do the overview of Identical Docs. I put in a lot of great content. I just wrapped up a series called Solution Explorer, just to recap, where I did all these videos, where I was specifically explaining what this project is all about, what that project is all about. From there, I went to this project. From there, I went to this project, and then I went to this project, and then this one, and I went to mobile application, I went to Android, I went to iOS, and then I did class library for WPF, and I wrapped up yesterday, or should I say the day before yesterday, with WPF. This series was all about Solution Explorer, for you to understand how I end up putting together this system. You need to understand what are these projects all about, what do they mean. I'm also on GitHub and Azure DevOps, so please do check out the previous videos. So today it's a new series. It's not necessarily a new series, but I decided to put together a video with regards to what you call services. So I'm gonna do the service, all the services that help to put together this system. And in this case, I'm talking about both the web application and database. Okay, so it's hosting service provider. Before I tell you about this hosting service provider, I want to tell you something. The content on this YouTube is created by me. I don't study other people. I do watch a lot of videos. Most of them are for entertainment, some are for work. But I don't go with other people's style. I don't have a specific style. I don't do editing. I don't do other fancy stuff. The only thing I'm going to ask you, if you find this material helpful, please like, comment. When you comment, please, if you'd like me to show you something specific with regards to my system, Identical Docs, leave a comment down below with #request. Your request has to be in capital letters, and tell me which of these projects you'd like me to focus on, web application or mobile application database. Tell me specifically what you would like me to show, and then I'll do everything on the video. Like, how does this one work? Everything pertaining that specific request. So, and then please share this content with fellow developers or anyone in IT, and then like I said, this material I put together for one person who says, I want to build an app. I want to build, it can be either a mobile app or a web application. Or I want to build a system. I want to show you that what it takes to build a system, from the devices that you're having, what are you going to use to build these systems, and how much money do you have to go after these services, all of them. What benefits now would you get when you put together your money to go after these services, every single thing. Now, let's get down to business, shall we? So, the name of the service for me to host all this web application, and like I said, I'm gonna be raw. I'm gonna show you everything. It's called Hostking. Hostking.co.za. I don't know if they're on Facebook. To be honest, I don't care if they're on Facebook or not. And by the way, they don't pay me to show you this content. They do not pay me. And it's out of the goodness of my heart to show you what I use, and then everything pertaining this company called Hostking. They're based in South Africa. They're using most of their services from America, and I'll explain some of them. So this is where I register my domains. You'll see the portal in a second. And then when it comes to hosting, so you can take a look at the website. I'm not going to do that. So when it comes to hosting, you have a choice of all these hosting options at your disposal. I'm not going to go through all of them except the one I am using currently, called ASP.NET Hosting. Like I said, they don't pay me to market their services. It's not even about that. I don't want to waste time on certain things that have nothing to do with identical docs. So this portal, I'm going to get inside it, and then I'll show you certain things. So yeah, you can read a lot of stuff here. I'm not going to get into it. Now I want to talk about pricing though. So which of the hosting plans do I use? I used to use this one that's big. Where is it? Did they remove it? There used to be this other one. They removed it, I guess. But I'm using basic right now. And then these people are now quite expensive. Wait, something's not right here. I know I have unlimited email accounts. I know I have 5 gig SSD storage. And please, let me give you an advice. If you're gonna look for other hosting providers, don't take their word for it. Do not. They told me about, they have moved from a normal hard drive to now SSD. That's why they had to increase the prices over the years. And I've been with this company from 2017. Now it's 2019. And free Ssl certificate, yes, we'll talk about this. 200 megabytes Apple, this wasn't one of the options that comes with this package or the benefits. This is a scary thing. This is the first time I get to see that they allowed 2 websites. It used to be unlimited website. And then what does it mean for the future of identical docs or any other service? I need to look for another one. I'm not kidding. I told you that I'm gonna be honest. I did not see this. They revamped their website, I can tell. It's different. They revamped their website. But this, it was unlimited websites. And there was another package, something bigger, blah, blah, blah. No, these people, they did something. We'll get to the control panel in a second. Yes, they provide full trust ASP.NET hosting. You can read more information about it. Yeah, they promise stuff like Microsoft SQL 2019, .NET. Aha! It seems like we need to read what they're saying. Interesting, I'll come back to it. Secure and safe website, blah, blah, blah. And are they 24/7? I'll talk about how I got to reach out to them, So to be honest, I don't know if they're trying to hook in clients or what, but what I want to say is I'm not happy with what they said here. They told me about they want to increase the prices. Previously, before it was 119 per month, it was 85 rand per month. So do your own mathematical calculations. 85, now 119. What went wrong? So yeah, they increased their prices drastically. So you wanna take this into account. So we might come back to this website, and look at certain things. This is just to marketing purposes. I mean, all of us, we can use our common senses. Unless they can show us a hard evidence that the 1,000 active website will, and I might not be a happy customer. I have been happy all these years until the moment they increase the price. It's not about the price they increase. It's how they justify having to increase the prices, because we cannot even validate that. Now, this is the website I've used, Hostking. Cool. Let's log in. let's log in, and then I'm gonna come to the portal in a second, and then we'll do a tour on what's happening and how do I publish, after a tour, and then what's happening with the database. Okay, like I said, this is good stuff. I'm providing good stuff. Okay, so you need to create an account. And by the way, my passwords are super heavy and then long and then ridiculously they change every now and then, so trust me, I'm taking some necessary precautions when I do this. Like I said, I'm gonna expose everything. I don't plan like other people. Hey, what do you mean? I can't be logged out. And as a developer, you need to check how many times people try to log in, for security purposes. Okay, these people tell me that it's incorrect. Okay, give me a second. So I can check the actual password on my smart device. Because I know on my iPad, I just go in and I'm already authenticated. So let me see. Okay, I found it. It's an old password I was using. Okay, so we should now be authenticated. You see, like I said, I'm gonna show you, the things that we do, forgetting the passwords and all that. Okay, cool. They've been saying this thing that I should verify my email since from 2017, like the day I created the account. Okay, what is this now? Support pin. What is this thing? My information. And then they want me to update my contacts and then so-called shortcuts, and then okay, this is useless. Okay, currently I have one service, but I'll get inside and what I try to do, and I have 2 domains active, but I have multiple domains. I already canceled them. And yeah, when it comes to my invoice, to show you how long back when that I've been with this company, and I'm gonna come to support my tickets. I've been fighting these people. Okay, so this is when I created this one, when I paid a huge amount on the 15th, as I remember, 15th of, apologies about that, 15th of March 2017. Okay, from there I started paying 139, as you can see with history. So I've been paying, and then some of the payments, it has to do with the domains. 23 rand, I can justify that one. 80 bucks, 174. So yeah, I've been paying up until last month. Not last month, because I can't see. You see, it's a flaw in the system. I want to know about the most recent amount of money that I've paid. How do I explain this? You see, this one is the 1st of July 2020, and then there's more content. Okay, but there's no 2021. That's a problem. So they only show me when I cancel domains, but they don't show me my most recent, the one I paid last month, or should I say this month. Oh, we have something here. Okay. Oh, now they show. Oh, apologies. Okay, so this is May, April. Oh no, okay, here they are. You see, I've been paying 85 rand. All along they hit me with 119, and then I had to you see a ticket. I'm like, no, what's happening? Okay, now they fixed this because these records were not visible. They will not show me. So I see that they have, okay, now good. So yeah, so just know that they are quite not expensive. You want to take that into account. For as long as you've been hosting your your web applications, just know this is what you want to go through. Okay, so tickets. Before I go to domains and then the services. Tickets. See this one. When was it? Now recently. Let's open it. Because then I asked about it, how much now, why they pay me this much money, because you don't want to become a developer that is not smart. You want to become smart and know what's happening. You want to pay attention to these things. I don't mind paying. However, I do mind when these people are somehow taking advantage. How do we open this thing? It's closed, yes, but I want to open it. So you guys can't show me. I know. But this is where I was sending an email. I was like, order creating a ticket via email. I was like, no, tell me what's happening. And that's when I asked for domain to be cancelled. The issue of 405 HTTP error, I'm gonna come back to it. The default web server, I'm logged out, unable to create a new subdomain. Everything's no longer the same. I complained. Access to path is denied, domain removable. Then .NET Core 3.1 support, because now they claim they support it. Did you see that? So please, you might want to read. Now they said .NET Core support, but they don't say is it 3.1 or is it 5.0. Now we're expecting 6 to come out. These people are slow. They are way too slow. So I fought these people over these years, and then sometimes they were not helpful. So most of these things are what made identical docs, because web API doesn't just work. By the way, web API doesn't just work, and I'll explain why in a second. Let me just explain, by the way. API.identical docs. You see, just expect me to go off the script. It's not a script. I know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not saying I have written these things down the way I follow through, blah, 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 blah. No. Now, this is a project targeting .NET Core, ASP.NET Web API, targeting .NET Core. This is 5.0. We did this. And the same, or should let me start with a normal Web API, the version 1, or should I say the main Web API, Okay. So this is the main one, okay, and then this is .NET Framework, targeting .NET Framework. This one's targeting .NET Core. So why am I talking about these two projects? It's because one of the support ticket, this one of 405 HTTP error. If we look at 405 HTTP error, I want to show you something, that the things that we bump into. So here they say a 405 method not allowed. Error is an HTTP response status code that indicates a web browser has requested access to one of your web pages, and your web server received and recognized its HTTP method. But unfortunately, your web server, they say the server has decided to reject that specific HTTP method, so the web browser can't access the requested web page. I've been through this thing. I've seen the terrible side of being a developer, where you're excited and things don't work out. So that's when I had to reach out to these people to say, what's up? So basically what happens in here is this. We do have the following verbs, right? We do have get, right? We do have post, right? These, right? So this is where you're getting a resource. This is where you're posting something. You're getting an object where you're posting an object. So this is create or add, and this is get or read, right? Now, the 405 HTTP error works with these two: put and delete. They do not allow this by default. In fact, your web application doesn't allow this by default. I can be corrected, but I know the web application doesn't allow this by default. Therefore, the web server doesn't allow this by default. You're going to have to explicitly say, I want to allow HTTP put when I edit a record. I also want to allow delete when I did a record. And this is not the first time when I bump into this 405. because I have a massive use system called SPY8. That's when I first learned about 405 HTTP error when I tried to delete an extra resource. So you should know stuff that you might get yourself into. So that's one of the things. Another thing that's of interest is this .NET Core 3.1 support. Now, this project is .NET Framework. This one is .NET Core, right? So that's when I went to say, okay, now do you guys have support? If you look at it, it's the 17th of December, 2019, 17th of December, 2019. And that's when I'm like, no, tell me if you support this thing. Because that was the first time when like, let me challenge myself with .NET Core development. And then access to path is denied. Now, this one has to do with the documents or images when you try to upload a document. And then I'll show you this when I do mobile application. When I upload, I can also use the Postman or Swagger to be able to test if I can upload a document. Then that's when I've learned about access to path is denied. So and then I told them everything's longer the same because they do keep on doing some creepy stuff, these people. So but just know that that's how it is. So in going backwards, you know, so yeah, I had to fight these people. Okay. Now in the meantime, let me go to now. You see .NET Core Windows Server Hosting Bundle. Access to HTTP verb for web API. Do you see this? Back in 2018, this was during SPY8, you know, development. And yeah, I fought these people, like I fought them. So you don't want to become a silent developer. You want to become vocal, you know. And SQL Server not found, you know, and Microsoft Outlook 2013 issue, blah blah blah. Cannot access Flask or webmail anymore. You need to cry. You are paying money. Okay, so now I'm done with these people. Let's go to domains quickly. Okay, in the meantime, let me go to the portal. Okay, let me move it this side. Okay, the domains that I have, some of them I cancelled. Okay, so Frenzy Time is my main domain, you know, and then Identical Docs is now, you see that I own this domain. I own it. And then I used to have a Frenzy Time, the main, they call it the top level domain. So I moved from, because it was expensive, .com to .co.za. I used to have a GBSS, my own ads for this guy, SDN the Geek guy for this guy, /.net for this gentleman, then SPY8. I'm gonna come back to this one. Zoo Too Good for this guy, and yeah. So I can add the domains in here. It's flexible. It's easy for me. I do have a new system. I'm gonna add a domain in here. Okay. Now the services, I only use one service currently, which is this hosting one. And then I wanted to get the package for data, 20 gig capped ADSL, you know, it was relatively cheap. Then I only find out that where I used to stay, you know, they do not support ADSL line anymore, which is telecom stuff. Then I canceled it. But this one, I've been with it from 2017, this one. I've been with it ever since then. So yeah, you see it's terminated. Registration day, you see on the 14th of March 2017. So I've been with this, and it's a standard one. So I don't care if these people that are telling me that they're gonna give me only 2 websites. I don't care. In fact, I should care. I should share. I should check what's happening, because I haven't received any email or any communication now. So we are done with the website. You know what they're saying, what they're promising, and then my account, and now the control panel itself. Okay, because a lot of people have been asking me that where do I host this, you know, how easy it is, you know, because being a developer, you should not be a lazy developer. It's not just about writing if else statement or switch statement. We go through a lot. Okay, friend, what's happening now? Okay, so now we understand what's happening with this method. Like a lot of things you bump into. Okay, right. Now the reason why you see the username Frenzy T, they shortened it. It used to be Frenzy Time, because you see this when it comes to database and what's happening. So this is my portal then. Okay, another user with the same username is logged in, but they should now, as developers, you know, for Plesk, because it's a different company from America, they should allow me to you know, have a way for me to authenticate which one is the main user, and it should allow me to de-authenticate that other user or something like that. Okay, so I'm using 5 gig storage. Currently I'm 56, because yeah, and the traffic it's unlimited, 831, and then you can see more stuff. I'm not going to get into certain specifics. So yeah, I have access to multiple domains and then subdomains, you know. So yeah, but the main one in question is this one, identical docs. So the MVC, here it is, and then this is another different project. Now the API, this one, here it is, and yeah, and then this is the main one, 2-in-1. This is the one. So SMS API is a different .NET Core project that I developed. It's a web API. So I need to use identical docs. And also this project, I stopped this project because it's too demanding, and school was demanding also. So yeah, and then you do have access to FTP accounts, you know, FTP accounts, and then you do have access to the emails. And then I'll show this because there'll be time where I'm gonna log in, so you should understand what you get or what I get out of this hosting provider. So yeah, some other accounts where I do the tests and everything. So yeah, now you see what's happening. So you have to set up certain things. For these two are for these two systems. These two. The other one is targeting the main. It's for web API. The other one is targeting, you know, this API.identical docs. Cool. I do have access to email accounts. I can create as many as I want, and then some of them I remove them, you know. So when you get an email from account, just know it's an actual domain. And then yeah, so some of them are used for testing, you know, some of them are actually live, you know. So yeah, you do get benefits to this, you know. So my main one is this one, Edward, and then to me add, you see, because 2017, because this is my main primary domain I use, I own it. And then you get access to lastly databases. So yeah, these are my actual databases. And then let's open this guy in the meantime, SQL Server Object Explorer. Okay, so I also get access to creating databases, you know. I can create a specific user for that database for security purposes. And then there's also a global administrator for that specific database. So for identical docs, here it is. I have 23 tables, you know, and this is the size of it. And yeah, and this is the address, you know, and then yeah, this is it. So this is where I come first to create the actual database, and then the user for the specific database. Okay, so now enough about that. Cool. So I've been with this company from day one, since I'm like, I now need to teach myself this system. So 2017 was part of my 4-year gap after I left school, second year, and I'm like, I need to build experience. So yes, I taught myself everything. CUT did not teach me nothing. They only exposed me to well, and then that's it. But I came in hot. So yeah, so I do have access to this database, SQL 7 production, where I can see all my databases under my account from here all the way until here, and I will talk about this in a second. But I want to come to how I host. So this is 2-in-1. When I do right click, and by the way, there was a bug. I don't know, bug it's in Visual Studio or the bug in the FTP protocol, or the bug, I don't understand, but be patient. I'm going to show you something. A way to publish. Sometimes you want to see me publishing live. So publish, I taught myself all this. I know this IDE in and out. That's why I love Microsoft. That's why I dislike other IDEs. Well, except for Visual Studio Code, it's too complicated and necessarily understand it caters for all developers, but this is a professional IDE. This one is a breeze. Now, something about version control. For the first time, when you publish and deploy your web application, make sure that you're on master branch. It's a tip, and also a warning. Do not be on a different branch. Make sure you're on the master branch. Make sure that you may have unpushed commits, but do not have pending changes. Do not. When you create a published profile, it actually creates a physical folder with a file. So please be smart about this. So let's go to properties. You see this published profile is an actual file, this one, and it cannot be checked to version control. It can be checked, but it doesn't go up. This file doesn't go up, and I'll show you why. Good. But just know this file is very sensitive. It contains sensitive material, but it doesn't have the actual password. It doesn't have. But it has stuff like where it's going, blah, 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 blah. Make sure you're on master branch so that this guy does not become part of the changes you're about to commit, because it can be part of it. The reason why it's marked with cross, because I do not make the mistake, but it can go up. Just know that. Good. So this is the server. Like I said, I have access to FTP, and then this is the site path, and then the username and the password. I think that's all you need to know. That's it. But now, why, you see, successfully published when? Recently, a couple of days ago. Cool. Now, why am I showing this? Why is so critical? Because of .NET Core. So let's go to either of these. It doesn't matter. Either of these. But let's go with this one. So this one, I think it's different. Properties, we do have it. See, there we go. It's ignored. Do not go up. Do not go up, and do not get checked. Well, you are checked, but do not go up. Okay, so right click also, but this one is different because I fought my hosting provider, like I've been saying. But how do you actually get it there? So let me tell you something crazy about these people. They said, it's only now that they are going nuts to say they support .NET Core. It's only now, and I need to do a follow-up. So previously, when I fought them in one of the tickets I opened and created, and then when I was interacting with them, they told me currently they do not support Windows Server, .NET Core on their Windows Server. They do not. So what you need to know about these companies, it's a company that's using other companies, several companies. One of them is Blesk. This is what they own, this control panel. It's a company. So if these people don't support .NET Core, then these people they cannot support .NET Core and other stuff like the server, blah 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 blah. Even this IIS. Okay, cool. Now, why again is it relevant? It's because when it comes to .NET Core, you see the last time I published was on the 13th of June 2021. Yes, because check this. Why did I publish on the same day? But times are different, because whatever I was doing here, I was changing something. I can't tell what, but I was changing something. So they have to sync. That's another key thing. Like I said, you don't just manipulate one project and then leave the other. They have to sync. They have to be in sync. They have to be identical. So the changes I made, and I published it, and then later on I came to this one, 659. Okay, so a critical thing about this, you see, it's going to MVC. A critical thing about this is this deployment mode. Please do your own research. Please do your own research. So if I do this, and you can see that it's in a release, because some people, I don't know, they can still change this to be debug. Do not publish your web application in debug mode. Do not do that. Always ensure they are in release mode. Always. Always. So the self-contained, unfortunately, it's what creates my web server, or yes, my control panel to be big. Unfortunately. the space to be big, because you have two options. You can do framework dependent, meaning that on the server where it's going, there are files that are needed to run this project. You see, mine is .net 5.0. It's no longer 3.1. Mine is this, right? So self-contained says take all the files that are gonna make up this project and then push them. But one of the things is a file publish options. You can say delete all existing files prior. You can do whatever you want to do. It's how you want to do it. So this is what people have been asking. How do I end up pushing it? It depends on your hosting provider. So I'm going to cancel and I'm going to show you something about this guy. Right click. Let's go to File Explorer. Because you don't just want to do this and say, I'm going to go with the self-contained. It's too expensive. It takes a while. If you have a slow internet connectivity, things are not going to be pretty and everything. Okay, cool. By the way, I'm not done again with where I'm at. Another thing, another thing is the method. You see it says FTP server. And there's a reason why. Come on. Okay, overview. I don't know what this IDE is doing in the background. I don't like that, but it's okay. I hope you are paying attention. It's not just about writing switch statement or adding a project. There are multiple pieces that needs to be taken into account to make this thing actually possible. So I'm going to show you something that's another critical. When I said there's either a bug in Visual Studio or a bug in FTP protocol or how it handles that stuff, or not FTP rather, but I'll show you what I'm talking about, not FTP. So here you say, yes, I want to publish blah blah blah. This video, it's actually, no, I'm gonna go a bit longer. Okay, so this is the project. You know what it takes? Let's go to bin. Let's go to release net 5.0. All these folders are going to a server. All these folders and all these files are going to a server, and some of them are big, like this one. It's 1.22 megabytes. All of them each time you publish. Well, in my case, that's how it is with the self-contained deployment mode. So look at this. And this is Sync Fusion Control, 3.09 megabytes. So you want to be smart about this choice. Like seriously, look at this, 5 megabytes. And how big is this folder? Because this is coming from the release, right? Let's see how big is it. Let's give it a second. 150 megabytes. So you need to have enough stable internet connectivity, or you might mess up with these files because they need to be exactly like they are on the web server. Do not tamper with this. Like I said, you need version control to discipline you or yourself if you are lazy to be disciplined. Do not tamper with this. It knows what it does during the publish, but do not tamper with what's in here. Now you understand. Good. So I want to say something. Oh, Microsoft, they keep on doing stuff. This is Microsoft for you. This is Microsoft for you. But this is not what I'm looking for. What is the best way of, because they rearrange stuff, these people. Oh, let's do new. Here it is. And I want to talk about something from here. And then where the future of me as a developer it's heading, or where my future is going. What am I saying? It doesn't matter. You see, my English wants to run out of airtime. It wants to deplete. It's crazy. It's not going anywhere. But where am I going in future? Because I'm still learning and I'm still working in progress. Okay. So I did press that because I want to show you something. Initially, back in 2017 and 18, I don't know when the problem started, but it started in 2018. It used to be web server. The target used to be web server. Publish your web application to IIS using web deploy or web deploy package. So I relied on web deploy. If I do next, you see it already made a change. Like I said, do not do anything whilst become ignorant to the changes that have been made. I didn't even do anything. So this was it, okay? And say next. I will then configure this guy, but for some reason it doesn't work. But I'll try to test it again some other time. I'll do a follow-up video on this one, where we try to do this web deploy, and then why it's not working in my case, in case you want to go for Hostking. Like I said, it can be Hostking, but it's pointing to Hostking. But it can also be a bug in Visual Studio. Why am I saying a bug? Not necessarily a bug, because in my main system that I'm still busy with, Spy 8, the web deploy is working. It's only this one where I switched it back to FTP, and unfortunately the FTP is not safe, but it's getting the job done. Just know that. Okay, now what is the future look like? The future is this: Azure.com. I am going to Azure. Soon I'm gonna be good with money, because someone's gonna hire me, because I'm too good. Someone's gonna hire me, they're gonna pay me well. I'm going to Azure. That's what the future is. One of the main reasons is because of CI and CD. While this is loading, Azure, this is where I want to go. I also want to go to Docker. I want to do stuff like, I want to do stuff that are different, stuff that are, we are talking about new stuff. So I've done this before. I'll show you how. So I've pushed my app, not this one, I was testing my app to Azure App Service for Windows, and yeah, that's what I've played around with. So yes, I've done something like this on this very machine, So that's where I'm heading, leaving Hostkings, So come on, why are you slow? Okay, number one, we're gonna go for products, and we're gonna go for app service. How we can do web. Web is also flexible to do, yeah, but it's called app service. Computer. Okay, so you need a subscription, and then to pick up the subscription, you need the resource group, and then you need the instances. It knows how to do stuff like this. My advice to you as a developer: know these things, spend money on these things, and then tell your employer that you're good. These employers, they need to know that we know these things. It's just that we don't have money to keep these subscriptions alive and active. Okay. Now, but what about a student at CUT? I'll talk about that. So a fully managed service for building, deploying, scaling your web apps. So I'm familiar with this one, So like I said, built-in CI and CD integration and zero downtime deployment. There are so many benefits to using this service in Microsoft Azure. So yes, I know this portal. Yes, so it's something that honestly it's amazing. It's really amazing. You can also use Azure Active Directory. Now that's what the feature is. I don't know this one. I know Storage Blob. I know App Service Plan. I know Azure SQL Database, and also my database, I'm gonna moving it to Azure SQL Database soon. So yeah, I'm excited about the future, So yeah, and then another thing that I want to do here while I'm here is the calculator, the pricing calculator. Pricing. Let's go to pricing. You want to do this. It's very important. Wait. I want the pricing calculator. Come on. Calculator. Okay, a national card used to be here. Yeah, there we go. Calculator. You see, I know my stuff. So yeah, but fortunately with CUT, because they're on Azure, I don't know other universities, but CUT is there, so I've used this. so they know that, okay, this is my main account, but I also have a school account, so it can allow me to do so. In fact, I did that and exhausted all my, you know, a 3 months, no, a 1 month trial. So you see, it says deploy. It is deploy ASP net MVC worth a DB to Azure in 2019. So yes, I've done something like this in Azure. I've done it. And then yeah, cool. So yeah, I've played around with it. I know what I'm talking about. Cool. So the pricing calculator, if this thing can finish. So what you want to do here, let's go to web. Now app services here. So shortcut. These are the features one. Our featured services. I also want to do Azure Functions, Azure SQL Database, Azure Kubernetes Services. I know Azure Cost Management Building, I've used it. Azure Cognitive Service, I'm going to build a system for CUT right now for my school. I'm going to use the service soon. I've seen Azure Cosmos DB, it's just I'm not a fan of Azure Cosmos DB. I want to use a storage account, you know. So I want to do stuff. Come on, I've clicked you. Oh, okay. Okay, so okay, let's remove one because he already added one. Come on. Yeah, you can add multiple stuff and in a on a calculator, and then it will do the magic for you. So I just want to show you something because we also do have Microsoft Azure in South Africa. So let me just say Azure database data centers. For people like us that love technology, we invest our time, you know, the nice way. Wait, come on. Okay, there we go. So West US, let's change this into rents. Where is, okay, there we go. Let's change this to rents. It's always down here, or is it up? No, down here. South African rand, South African rand, South African. There we go. So boom, 1,000. 1,000. Okay, there we go. They're saying 1,000. 1,000 rand. Yo, that's too much. But operating system, it's Windows. Yes. The tier, it's basic. Let's try free. Check the difference. And I have free, so I don't know what it allows me. So there's a tier, free tier, and 1 gig RAM, you know, 1 gig storage for this amount of time. So yeah, hours, you know. So then you can do shared. That's what I'm using currently. I don't mind paying this much money. I don't want to lie. This is nothing to go to Azure. I don't mind paying this. And then we can talk about instances, and then support is included, and then you get the license, you know. So yeah, 173 rent. Yeah, okay, now I can handle it. So what about what we see here? Oh, so it's a shared one, only in West US. I want to show you this before I move there, that we have something in South Africa. There we go. South Africa, we have a database available, and they're announcing other places. This is Azure, and here I don't want to read, but here we are in South Africa North. Here we are. So yeah, so we are in South Africa. West US is somewhere there. Now going back to this guy, let's change. Let's try. You see, it's 173. If I go Central US, okay, is it the same? Let's go to UK. Where's the refresh? Okay, I don't like this. It can't be the same price, but let's go to South Africa. Okay. South Africa, Africa. Yes, we have 2 data centers. No, this thing cannot be the same. It cannot be the same. Free in this region. Shared 173. Okay, in South Africa. So it doesn't matter. Basic 1400. So you get about 10 gig storage, as you can see. But you can choose if you want, but it's the most cheapest. But if you go for 7 gig of RAM, 4 cores. But this is the feature we need to invest into our systems. And the reason why I'm doing this, because your system might be, a system that can make money. So this should not worry you, but we're talking about the quality of service, literally. Quality of service. So yeah, I think shared can work for me, but I don't like the storage. It should be a specific system. Now 1 gig it's a lot, so yeah. So this is the tour of the service that I'm using. I hope that you found this informative, and just don't believe anything that they say. I've searched before I bump into Hostking. I searched, and I was like, you can work, and it was reasonable at the time. And then yeah, so I searched. So yeah, but I'm moving to Microsoft Azure. We cannot be developers as stingy, but I'm moving. That's why I'm moving. So I think the next video is gonna be the service for Google Play. I think it's important that I do that one. But yes, I'm excited about that one, Google Play. And then there's gonna be a little bit of warnings, because we don't just talk about, hey, I have an app. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes. So thank you very much. This was informative, and I'm just gonna undo the changes that were made, because they should not go anywhere. Okay, and stay tuned for this series of version control. I'm gonna be creating stuff from scratch, but I'm also gonna be doing other stuff, including this. When it's being added, it's gonna be deleted, as opposed to she's being undone. So the difference about this, and then the risk that comes with all of this. So I hope this was very, very, very informative, as it was to me, and I'll see you next time. Please subscribe, like, tell your friends that the content on this channel is good and you won't regret it. Thank you very much. Bye.